about 30 feet down into the crosscut, and it intercepts a small vein here, which is about 15 feet away from the primary vein, which is just down the crosscut there. There is some limonite with manganese oxide showing, as well as a little bit of quartz, which all three of those are very good indicators of gold. Yeah, so this is an example of the quartz veins that they were following in here. This one's only about 1/2 inch wide, but actually most of the gold can be recovered just by washing the quartz off. I don't think there's actually too much gold in the quartz. It's in the clay that surrounds it, the gouge on either side of it. Yeah, so here you have your black manganese oxide. Very good indicator for gold in this area. Okay, actually upon digging down in here, the vein actually widened out. It's about 2 inches of quartz at this point. So we just came about 15 feet from down the crosscut to where that last vein was intercepted, and here we just hit the primary vein they were following. They drifted about 100 feet on it that way, and just about 5 feet over here.
So we're continuing down the right branching drift here through some timbering, and this is the tunnel continuing forward down the drift. So here's a shot of these old school timbers in the mine, and these appear to be just raw tree trunks, probably brought in the 1920s or 1930s. This is looking back toward the crosscut, and we're going to continue on this way.
Alright, so here's the vein they were following. It's a fault. The dip is nearly vertical. In most places, the gouge seam with the quartz is only, it's 1 inch to 6 inches wide, averaging probably a little less than that. But it is continuous. And this vein can be traced on the surface and in the workings underground for at least 600 to 700 feet. This is a persistent vein, which is a very good sign. And there's also a good vertical extent. There is another tunnel directly above us, about 40 feet. So we have at least 30 to 40 feet of backs in here. So plenty of ore to mine. All right, so we're digging on the vein here. It kind of pinches off right here, but all right, this is what they were actually going after right here. It's this clay gouge, very soft, and lots of limonite in here, and this is where all the free milling gold comes from. The previous owner of this was in a group of people, and the partnership went south, but they took 1 5-gallon bucket. It was right out of here, in fact. You can see where they actually dug all this out, and out of 1 5-gallon bucket they took 1/10 of an ounce of gold. We're very fortunate here in that the ore is a soft clay gouge. So again, this a lot of thought, and the way I would go about doing this is I would actually take a pressure washer in here with a strong water jet, and I would just shoot that thing right up in here and work it as far up as you can, and have a catch basin, probably run some tarps all along here, and you just create a slurry in the top, and it will fall down, and you have a catch basin, and you can mill it in a gold cube. There's no crushing required. You just rinse the clay and the gold comes right out. Well, here the vein widens out. It's about 6 inches wide at this point. Almost solid limonite in there. We will take a sample off of here and have it assayed. Yeah, we're near the end of the drift here. and they found this vein that runs almost perpendicular to the primary vein. And if you follow this one up, there's actually an interesting pocket of what appears to be chalcopyrite and bornite mineralization. So some of those bugs we saw earlier with the limonite manganese oxide, that's probably where those originated from, was the chalcopyrite. So, and it's also interesting in this area, other pockets of gold that I've uncovered have been associated with chalcopyrite. So this is a very good sign indeed.
So one of the things we like to monitor is the oxygen right there and hydrogen sulfide levels. So as we can see here, our oxygen levels are at 20.9% and hydrogen sulfide is at a 0. And these fails here are for other gases that we do not monitor. But these two readings here are really good. 20.9 is actually the atmospheric level of oxygen normally present in the air, and then hydrogen sulfide at a 0 obviously is ideal. So the air in this mine is perfectly fine. That's something we always watch out for here. And right now actually we're at the end of the tunnel. So the air is good all the way throughout this mine. Go for it.
Okay, so we just got done measuring off what we would call the mineable length of the drift here. It was about 80 feet. So by mineable, what we mean is the section of drift where you could utilize the pressure washer mining method. So we're going to go ahead and take a sample at an interval of every 20 feet along the way here to try to get an accurate idea of what the values are.
So on the ground here is the location of our first sample, and we're going to start digging here and taking out some material to have it assayed later.
All of our assays are done at ALS Minerals, which is industry standard, so very reputable and accurate lab.
Alright, so this is our third sample out of the right branching drift on the lower relief crosscut. So we're going to bag these up like you see here and go get them assayed for their true value of gold. So we've tagged each of our sample locations here, so when you buy the mine you can come back here and know exactly where to start digging, where to start removing your ore. Okay, so we walked up maybe 50, maybe 60 feet above the main crosscut adit, and this is another tunnel here dug on the same vein. So this is actually a drift tunnel dug along the same vein as we were observing down in the lower tunnel, and this goes back for about 60 to 70 feet. So we're going to go on in there and check it out and show you the ore vein. Alright, so we're right inside the second relief tunnel and passing over a small collapse here, and down there is the tunnel continuing forward, and we're standing on a small collapse here.
Yeah, we're in here just 20 feet from the portal in this little collapsed area, and we have the main drift here, which was following this vein coming in, but then there's also an offshoot right here, and they meet together right here, and that's probably why this area came down where they intersected. But if you look at this little offshoot here, it's about a foot wide, and it appears to be pretty good vein material. Lots of limonite in here. Very good sign. So there's quite a bit of ore there to be mined.
So right back there you can see there's a couple of bats, but as you can see the vein there continues further into the mountain, and it looks to be about 1.5 feet wide. But really the area of interest is back toward the portal where we showed you guys earlier, so we're going to take a sample from there. So right here we're looking at a former cabin and possibly mill for the relief mine, and this is included on the claim. It's right along the creek here. There's also equipment down there in the creek. Plenty of artifacts around here for those who are interested in the historic value of these places. So I'm standing on this rubble pile of a former structure we believe was a residence and possibly a mill for the relief mine. And so the three brothers who mined this claim would have lived here. Pretty cool bit of history there. Okay, so this is a fourth adit on this claim. So this appears just really to be a small prospect. You can see the face of the tunnel right there. This is a really nice piece there. Unless you can fill that up with water. You can do that.
No, even though I don't really get it done. Be afraid. Don't you hit that gold stick. Pull your bucket up this. Here, let's put it up. We'll clean up later if you do it. You don't let it run. You're not going to recognize it as gold in the morning. This one's about better, I think. Yeah. I don't know. I actually look. That's what I hear.
Dude, wow.
Dude, is that gold?
That's a lot of gold.
Hot damn.
Wow.
Wow. Oh my goodness.